Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks! What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today we have a very special unboxing video to share with you guys. So, many of you who have followed the channel for a long time know that my wife has this tradition where every year on our anniversary she buys me a knife. Now, in the early days, my knife collection was much smaller, and what I had discovered, my range of discovery was obviously much smaller, and it was much easier for her to find something that I had never heard of, never seen, or never handled. That is not so much the case anymore. It's become increasingly difficult, and so every year, especially in the last year or two, she's needed a little bit of help in terms of just what I already own. And it's kind of a weird game that we play with each other where she's like kind of trying to describe it, and then I will guess what it is because she doesn't want to ruin it. And she'll be like, God, you own everything. This is so difficult. So she found something, and it ended up being substantially outside of the normal budget, which was kind of a funny conversation. But basically what I'm saying is that she still did all the work, but I was a little bit more involved with this one, just confirming that I didn't own it. I was unaware that these were available, which is cool, but I do know what it is. Now, it's been a long time since I've handled this, and I am super excited, and I'm also amazed that she was willing to buy this. So I'm really excited. I'm going to open this up and share it with you guys. Thanks so much to my wife for providing this knife for this video. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. This was picked up at Recon 1, and you guys probably recognize the box. There we go. We got to flip it over, right? Yeah. Let's go ahead and open this up. It doesn't look like it would be very big, right? Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy, I don't want to ruin it with that little card there. Oh man. I'm so excited. I love Shirogorov knife. Yes. Yes. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. So this is the Shirogorov F110. Oh, I'm sorry, 111. I keep wanting to say 110. The F111 in Chronator 30, multi-row bearings, and black G10. Chronator 30, if you don't know, is essentially LC200N. And if you're wondering, yes, I will actually EDC this. There are tons of knives in my collection that I will never, ever get rid of. But obviously, the ones that are the most important to me are the ones that my wife has picked up for me every year to celebrate our anniversary. Now, I do have a couple of Safe Queens from the versions that she's given me, including the Arch Nemesis for our 5-year. That one obviously will never be used. But this one, 100%. And I'll tell you why. This is a freaking pocket sword. Oh my gosh, I forgot how absolutely huge this thing is. Good Lord, it's huge. Let's measure this. Let's measure this. The best thing about Shirogorov knives in general, oh, beautiful. God. The best thing, I love this. I cannot wait to put this in my pocket and just like dedicate to it. The best thing about Shirogorov knives is their blade to handle ratio and just how much blade you're actually carrying for how compact they are folded up and how lightweight they tend to be in the pocket. Now, this is still a relatively heavy knife, but well within the parameters that I normally carry. The overall length of this hulking knife, not hulking, it's just really, it's a tall boy. 9 3/4 inches, approaching 10 inches, with 4, and it's more than that. Let's measure the blade by the cutting edge, 4.35 inches. The benefit of this being LC200N, or Chronator 30, means much like Vanax, it doesn't have the same, the other same stats as Vanax, but much like it, I simply do not have to baby this thing. I can just cut with it and not worry about it. But truthfully for me, as somebody who does not need this much blade, there's no part of my day-to-day that needs this much blade. this is simply a joy carry for me. Number one, to EDC a Shirogorov, because make no mistake, this is a hyper expensive knife, regardless of, you know, what some people would consider more basic materials. Doesn't matter to me at all. Because the fit and finish and overall quality feeling, if you've handled Shirogorov knives, then you know they're just absolutely epic. Just carrying this absolutely monster blade around, it's amazing how well it folds up and becomes a thing that is not, I'm going to go ahead, I got to put it in the pocket right now. I love that pocket clip. Yeah, so this won't be difficult to carry at all. It might be one of the best in terms, I'm actually surprised the balance is not closer to the pivot, but it just doesn't feel like an ultra heavy knife. I want to weigh it real quick because I think the website said, it's been so long, because I've reviewed this knife. It's been so long, though. The website said it weighed like 5 ounces, which was surprising to me. But let's go ahead and see. Yeah, 5.3 ounces. So it is, I think, what most people describe as heavy until you consider that you're carrying 4.3 inches of blade. At 5.3 ounces, I just don't find it to be that big of a deal. The other thing that I really like is the nested liner there, which is, what does it say? Oh, it says MRBS, multi-row bearing system. This is beautifully positioned and also just barely peeking out. You can see those little like steps there, which give you a little bit of additional engagement with the finger, and it just absolutely wonderful in terms of the flipping. I'm so excited to actually have a nearly 10-inch folding knife that I can justify carrying. But I'm still just like overjoyed that my wife was willing to buy. I could normally the budget kind of hovers around $300, and I think she got really frustrated because she went through. It would have been a funny conversation to have recorded because she went through like 20 knives, and she would start describing it, and I would say that's the this or the that. I know exactly what that is. And she'll be like, so you own it. Most of the time it was I own it, or I've reviewed it, or I've handled it, or I had some criticism, you know. But you know, she tough. I can only imagine how irritating that would be from her perspective, because she's trying to do something super nice, and at the same time, like, achieve a nearly impossible task of adding something to my collection that I would enjoy as a knife reviewer, that I would or carry, right? Something that I would appreciate. But this is a knife that I will have no reservation. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to go like, you know, like pry apart cinder blocks with it. But in terms of like using this as a regular knife, I will have zero reservations using it, because it's a build that I feel like, you know, it kind of demands to be used. It's beautiful. It has a blade that obviously has great cutting geometry, very long, fully flat ground blade, or almost fully flat ground blade. But it's a build that I will carry and use because it looks like a super fancy tool, which is this kind of stuff that I legitimately love to carry and use. So thank you so much to my amazing wife for picking this up. It's been a long time since I have handled this knife, and this version is different, and it's also the newest generation of this knife versus the one that I carried. So I will actually be doing a review on this down the road a bit. That pocket clip is really nice. I love that titanium pocket clip. These are all adjustable. You can get the Shirogorov specific tool. You can also use, like, I think the edge of a coin or whatever. But Recon One also sells replacement hardware kits for these things as well, which I think is great if you end up like kind of digging up the pivot or whatever. You know, I wouldn't be against picking up some additional hardware down the road, but this is phenomenal. I am so happy. I'm still trying to like wrap my head around the fact that I get to EDC a Shirogorov knife now. Not that I don't have other Shiros that I could carry, right? But I've got other reservations for one reason or another against carrying some of those. So I'm really excited to have one that I can carry and use guilt-free, because that's absolutely what I should be doing with it. So really excited. I'll link Recon One down in the description, or you guys can just go to Recon One. That's where I pick up Shirogorovs when I buy them. That, especially if you live in the United States, like that's a great place to pick them up. But yeah, so that's going to be pretty much it today, guys. Thanks again to my wife. Absolutely epic. I feel very, very, very lucky. That's going to be it today, guys. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex and on TikTok at _metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.